got you stuck. I got you stuck. Off the realness. I got you stuck. Got you stuck off the real. The real.
AP did not say that Kamala Harris is not black. She is biracial. She is Indian. She is black. You continue to repeat the fact that you continue to repeat the slur. I don't understand why you and the president do it, but it's clear you're not going to say that it's wrong.
So here's what I would say to President Trump. The problem I have with Kamala Harris is not her heritage, it's her judgment. Every day we're talking about her heritage and not her terrible, dangerous liberal record throughout her entire political life. It's a good day for her and a bad day for us.
And see, and that's the only time you ever going to hear me agree with Lindsey Graham. The first and the last time you ever going to hear me agree with Lindsey Graham. Now, if you want to talk about our record, by all means, go right ahead. Go right ahead. You know, I won't have an issue with that. But to talk about her being a woman, to talk about her race, talking about her, whether she's Indian or black, I have a problem with that. The man on the street have a problem with that. It shouldn't matter. We want to put the best person in that office. The person that's going to work for all America, not just for black people, not for just white, Indian, Asians, Mexicans, or whatever. We want the best person in that job. And that's what it is. But it seems as though that some people didn't get the memo because they're still saying the same old thing. Like I said before, some of his constituents are actually getting turned off by the way that he's going on by carrying on this conversation. Who's advising him? That's the question. Who's advising him on these issues? Somebody should be in his ear and be like, "Hey, Mr. Former President, hey, Mr. Trump, I think you need to leave that one alone. I really think that you need to, go a different route because I hate to tell you, that one's not working. Sir, that one is not working. And you continue to preach this type of rhetoric, it's going to turn some of your voters off."
A Republican organization that is against Donald Trump is kicking off a fresh advertising campaign in critical states, showcasing former supporters of the ex-president who have now distanced themselves from him.
It's going to turn some of your voters off that follow you and that voted for you. But Trump is a 78-year-old man? And a 78-year-old man, you can't tell them anything. Sometimes you can't even tell young fools anything. But 78-year-old man, he's not going to change his ways. He's stuck in his ways. And that's what's going to burn him at the polls. It amazes me that this guy, what's his name, Byron Donald, he's out here saying the same old thing that Trump is saying. But then you got Lindsey Graham, like I said before, the only time you ever going to hear me agree with him, he's saying, man, we shouldn't even be talking about our heritage. We should be talking about her record. And that's what Trump should focus on. Focus on her record. Who cares if she said that she was Indian American? Who cares that she said that she was African American? Who cares? What does that have to do with the American people? What does that have to do with getting American people better paying job, insurance, food on their table? That's what the American people cares about. But yet you got these so-called politicians talking this bullshit. And I'm trying not to curse on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, but sometimes you just have to. Sometimes you just got to say, what the hell are we electing these officials for? Because if you listen to them, they're not talking about what affects us. They're trying to get the person in there that's basically going to do what they want to do. And like I said this before, everybody know I can't stand Trump. I can't stand the man. Never did like him. Never, ever, ever. and I'm going to say this to the day I die, that he's in it for himself and his family. Now, back to Kamala Harris. She's running to be the 47th president of the United States. And I got to hear what she's going to do for the American people. You notice I didn't say for black people. You notice I didn't say for white people. What is she going to do for the American people? And it goes back to my original question when I started this podcast. What does race have to do with the 2024 presidential election? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. It's about policies. It's about what changes she's going to make for the American people. It's not about her being black or being Indian. That's what it boils down to. And for those that don't know what race Kamala Harris is or what does she identifies, she said it in her own words.
You see a lot when you're the firstborn. I saw my mother and how she worked hard, and she was full of pride and would never want anyone to ever pity her. She never complained about anything. But I also knew how she suffered. I knew how she stayed up late at night trying to figure things out. She was a brown woman with an accent. I remember going into, a store and us being followed. I remember how people would look at my mother and make certain assumptions about her intelligence or her capacity or her right to belong. As the eldest child, you see this. My mother was very well aware that she was raising two black girls to be two black women. And she did that instilling in us pride in our culture and cultures, always knowing that we would face all kinds of obstacles, but she never let us believe that anything could get in the way of our dreams or pursuits. My sister Maya is 2.5 years younger than me. So at the age of 2.5, I was told, look after your sister. And it is something that is very much a part of just who I am, which is that look after those who need your support or need your help. And that has been what has motivated me to do the work I've done, to look after and protect people.
You heard it from the horse's mouth. Her mother knew that she was raising a black woman. Her mother laid the groundwork because she already know, being a biracial child, the obstacles that she's going to face. First, being a woman, and then being a black woman. They heard it from the horse's mouth, what she identifies as. So the question of race should never come up again. Never. She attended a HBCU. She's an AKA. What else is there? I know what she need to do. She need to tell him to kiss her black ass. That's what she need to do. But because she doesn't, I guess, unless you listen to Joe Brown, because she's not dropping it like it's hot or twerking or snapping her fingers when she talk or rolling her head, oh, she's not black. That's what it boils down to. You heard it from the horse's mouth, what she identifies as. Somebody need to give that video to Trump. Somebody commented, give me Trump on presidential things so I can send him this tape. Oh, my bad. He probably already got it. But knowing him, he doesn't care. He thinks that the average American person thinks about a person's race. That might have worked back in the 60s, early 70s, 80s, the late 90s, probably even the early 2000s. But times are changing. Time has changed. We have to step away from that type of rhetoric. We need to, as American people, talk more about the person's policies than the color of their skin. But we got these politicians out here, if they don't have anything else to say, all I could do is fall back on is the race issue. Now, the majority of people, I'm not going to say they are rednecks. I'm not going to say that they're low educated. I'm not going to call them, because I really don't know. But the majority of them that follow Trump, they're going to fall for that bullshit. Some of them already have. You can't tell them no difference. Even the most educated person that I know that's a Trump supporter, he's falling for that bullshit. And that makes me, hey, the man on the street, I got to keep my eye on you. And you see, Tim Scott is an educated man. He's an educated man. And he fall for that bullshit because he thought he was going to get that job. And like I said earlier, this will probably be the first and last time you'll ever hear me agree with Lindsey Graham, the senator from my home state of South Carolina. I would never, I needed to play the lottery. If you was to tell me that I would agree with Lindsey Graham, I would tell you a damn fool. So, ladies and gentlemen, this election cycle shouldn't be about race. It should be about what the person could do for the American people. And if they got a bad record, talk about their record. Don't talk about the color of their skin. Because in this time and age, we don't care. We don't care. I don't give a damn if you're green. If you was a green person running for the president of the United States, and you say that, hey, I'm going to make sure that everybody gets health care. I'm going to make sure that you get paid for the job that you do. I want free school for every damn body in the U.S. That's what I want. I want everybody. If you got student loans, you can't pay your student loans, we're going to work out a way for your student loans. I'm going to lower prices. When you go to the store, I'm going to make sure that you can be able to afford to get something to eat to put on your plate so your family won't be hungry. I'm going to make sure that we are the best trained military in the world. I'm going to make sure I put people in positions to do what is necessary for everybody in the country, not just the 1%. That's the person you vote for. You don't vote for a person because of the color of their skin. If you do, you're a goddamn fool. You're a damn fool. But let me know what y'all thought about what the man on the street had to say. I know it's going to be a lot of people that's not going to agree with me. Some people will agree with me, but that's what makes a good debate. I don't want you to agree with everything that I say. We are not a monolith. We all have our own opinions. And my opinion on this situation is, what does race have to do with the 2024 presidential election? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the man on the street is out.
I got you stuck. I got you stuck. I got you stuck. Off the rail.